This story is about why it's important to clear your cookies on your computer, because we've recently done a story in the Philippines and this was recommended to me. But here's the thing. I do fucking clear my cookies. I just don't understand how they keep...
Do you know how I clear my cookies?
Eat them?
Out of the cookie jar.
Yeah.
I just do not understand. I use a VPN as well, but somehow I'm getting recommendations that are tailored to me.
But don't you think it's like storing your posts? Like if you're visiting your own post about it, that might do it.
Maybe. So Google is seeing that
I mean, it's also listening to what we're saying right now.
No, I'm literally, guys, I use a VPN and clear my cookies. So there's something else that they're doing. Yeah, maybe they got a tracker on my site or whatever, and they see that, you know, I'm looking at this.
Yeah.
Because I'm not just talking about true crime. I'm talking about like tailored recommendations for products.
Yeah.
But it's like, how are they doing it if I'm being proactive? And, you know, how are they still getting through? It's crazy.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Big Brother is everywhere.
All right, so check it out. This is where we're going to tonight. This is Magsaysay Drive.
We are in the hustle and bustle of the Philippines.
This is the Philippines, yeah.
I love Filipino people, as persons.
They're really nice.
They are. And they're very hard workers.
That is true. And you know what's great about them? So this sounds fucked up, but I know. See, most companies hire either someone from India or the Philippines. They're about the same rate, which is literally cheap and nothing, but you get the advantage of the Filipinos speaking English. So there's no translation barrier. I don't know if you, but they are the same rate, literally.
Have you ever had Filipino food?
No.
It is so good. Lumpia?
Yeah. Delicious.
Jen, I want to show you.
I don't think there's any Filipino restaurants around here, is there?
I know some Filipino people, so if you
they are...
Well, they do have a food truck. Lumpia.
That's right. Yeah.
Jen, I want to show you this. This is weird. All right, number one, look at this crazy ass taxi. Oh shit, these are Mercedes?
Wow.
Those are cool.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Derek boy.
Those are cool.
So we're in Olongapo in the Philippines. This is the city here, but look at this. I showed Nicole this the other day. Tell me what you think about this. Wait, where is it at? It's over here.
I think you could probably go to any power line post, honestly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at this tangled mess.
That looks safe.
I mean, can you imagine seeing that over here? That would you would never see this over here in America. There's no effing way. Like, look at this shit. I mean, look, there's just lines hanging down. Like, what are these for? They're just like hanging down. Like, how do you even know what's what?
You don't.
Holy tits. Anyway, so tonight we are going to October 11th, 2014. And this case is recommended to me because of the search history and stuff like that. But still, I don't think anyone's covered it. And as Nicole said last week, like, I do take on cases that no one wants to touch. And which is why I get like in trouble a lot, I guess. But, you know,
because he just does not give a shit.
I don't give a shit, you know, and I'll be the first to admit I'm fucking ignorant and shit. And I say stupid shit. I'll be the first to admit that. But guess what? At least I fucking admit it. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Self-awareness is important.
It's like all these other true crime podcasts. Like, oh, we're just doing this for the victims, you know? Oh, yeah? Well, why don't you take all your ads off your podcast? Not make any money. Tonight, we are going to the Philippines, Olongapo, and we're actually going to a specific nightclub. It's not open anymore, but the sign is still there. The nightclub is above the OBGYN.
Oh, so like, you know, if you
all your needs and
have, if you go out one night and, you know, then you're out all morning and you're like, you know what, I can't find my keys, and then
and I need a pap smear. Is that where you're going with?
I don't know where I was going.
I can't find my keys and I need a pap smear, so fuck. Anyway, tonight we're going to Ambiance nightclub. So this is a top floor nightclub. It's no longer open. If you look on Google Maps, no longer open, but at the time it was, is 2014. I don't think it closed because of this story, but I doubt it closed because of this story. But this is where we're going, Ambiance. We're going to 11:10 p.m. at night. Tonight we're talking about a female that was there in the bar. Her name is Jennifer Laude. Have you heard that name?
No.
I doubt you have, because like I said, this is a story that's not really well known, but this is what she looks like if you want to describe her.
Young.
I said I think she looks like a model.
Yeah.
And I can't tell, like, it doesn't.
I don't
think
she's naked. She's not nude
maybe
here.
Not. Oh,
I mean,
maybe
look,
that's a bikini string
like a
top. I was thinking that was a necklace before.
because there's like prayer hands behind her.
Yeah.
So why would she be nude?
I don't know. Maybe that's not a real background.
Who knows?
Well, yeah, obviously she's not floating in the sky above the clouds.
Yeah, so why would the praying hands be real?
She was at the Ambiance Bar. It's a disco bar on October 11th, 2014. She was there at 11:10 p.m. and the time here is kind of important. But she is known as a Pocahontas. Do you want to take a guess what a Pocahontas is, Jen?
Yes, someone from another country came to court her, and she was taken back.
That's an interesting, actually, idea.
It's a great guess.
Yeah.
It's not correct, but it's still a good guess.
Oh, wow. You never compliment my guesses.
So a Pocahontas, and this is a derogatory term for a Filipina female who is a slut. That is what Pocahontas stands for. The term is a Tagalog term, which is a language there for poke, which literally translates to slut. So that is what a Pocahontas is.
I don't like that.
So basically, she's a sex worker. All right, she's a prostitute.
Okay.
So she's working, and the reason that prostitution is so rampant and accepted there is because the U.S. has a really big presence there as far as the military, and the reason why, which we'll kind of talk about, is because we're allied with the Philippines. So when China tries to take over, like we have some Asian allies. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the reason why. Let's be honest. They won't admit it, but we all know.
Well, especially after the whole World War II thing.
Yeah.
We want to leave ourselves exposed.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we tell ourselves.
So let me show you like this inside of the club because it actually looks really freaking cool, like seeing inside this damn thing. So I'm putting all these photos on talkmore.com. You definitely want to see what the victim here looks like, and you want to see some of the other photos. We do have the death photo of her, and is very weird looking, but you definitely want to go there and check it out. But I want to show you the inside of the club right now. I'm trying to pull it up. And one of the main sources I used was from a Vice article. This is inside the nightclub. Pretty cool, eh?
Ooh.
So you're walking up these stairs. Now and her name was Jennifer Laude, she is standing on top of the stairs. There's two other females with her at the time, her friends and roommates. They're at the top of the stairs. They're there to accept offers for sex. That's why they stand on top of the nightclub. And it was really accepted there. So that's what she's doing. Mm-hmm. And a man walks up the stairs. And let me show you this man right quick. Here is the man that walks up the stairs to meet her. If you want to describe this guy.
He looks either American or
European. He's actually from your city, right?
Yeah.
New Bedford.
No way.
Yeah, he's a New Bedford, Massachusetts man.
Okay. What's his name?
Well, I'm not saying he's a killer or anything. I'm just saying like this who meets Jennifer tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, interesting. I'll reserve my opinion for later.
And also, if you look behind here, you see a boxing ring. So this is a young man. And I don't know how old he is here, but when he met Jennifer Laude that night, he was 19 years old. He's also wearing a specific type of shirt. You want to take a guess what he's wearing?
An Army PT shirt?
No, It's a marine green shirt.
I said the same thing. Don't worry.
They're different, y'all.
Well, it's all army green to me. I don't know. Like an olivey green. I don't know what the difference is.
Well, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, let me show you. I wanted to show you like the
difference.
The different
There's shades
greens.
of green.
It is for real.
No, I believe it.
Yeah, it is. All right. Anyway, so
because you don't want to be like mistaken for another branch. You all have different colors.
So Joseph Pemberton, he's a U.S. Marine, private first class. Joseph Pemberton, 19. He was there with all of his other Marine friends and Navy friends. They were doing a joint exercise, which is really prevalent from the U.S. We always send our ships there, whatever. So he's on shore leave. He has to be back on the ship by midnight, right? And it's already 11:10, 2014. Okay. So, and we'll talk a little bit more about him later. But he is the one that meets Jennifer Laude that night, and we can see a photo of them actually going up those same stairs that you just saw. So this is him walking up the stairs with her. So you see it's the same room. That's him right here. Now he is a professional boxer, or at least that's what they said. He's only 19, so I guess you know, he made money as a boxer before he joined the Marines, I guess. So anyway, he meets Jennifer. So Joseph meets Jennifer and they start to arrange a payment for sex, which is normal. And she never goes alone. She always travels with her two friends. One of them's name is Barbie. They always travel together because number one, they don't want to get, you know, if one goes alone, they may get raped or whatever. And number two, they just travel in packs. And it's not just Americans that come down here. It's people guys from all over. Like you have Chinese, Korean, Canadians, all kinds of people come in and they use the services of these women, right?
Barbie Gelviro said, she never went with a guy alone. She always asked one of us to come with her so we knew where she was.
Yeah, so they go and they rent a local motel, room number 1, which is right behind the receptionist desk, a motel called the Cell Zone, which I think is like a cell phone zone, and they just had a spare room.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Barbie's there too. She is negotiating a rate for Jennifer. Jennifer suggested 5K pesos, but Joseph Pemberton said he would only pay 1,000 pesos, which is $25. So she wanted $125, but she decided to do it for $25. And what that means is oral sex and maybe full sex. I'm not sure.
Court sources say part of Pemberton's testimony indicated that he, right?
Yeah.
That he had oral sex twice in the room with another woman, one in stand-up position and another lying down before he had oral sex with Laude.
So he is getting oral sex from Barbie, we're imagining, standing up, and she's just kind of, you know, breaking the ice, I guess, kind of getting him warmed up. Then she's about to leave. So she actually leaves, and then the actual transaction of sex is going to, you know, take place with only Jennifer Laude and Joseph Pemberton in the room. Jennifer is performing oral sex on this 19-year-old Marine. He is laying on the bed, pants down. She's, you know, performing this service for him, and his hands start to wander around, and he puts his hands like in between her legs.
Jennifer Laude had been performing oral sex on Pemberton when he suddenly felt a penis when he put his hand between Laude's legs.
So this is why you clean your cookies.
Yes, clear these cookies.
All right, this is a murder podcast, Jim. What do you think happens here? I mean, take a wild guess. You think he's okay with this?
Probably not.
Okay. Jennifer Laude was Jeffrey, but now she's Jennifer. She still has a penis, though. I don't know what that would mean.
You could be transgender without receiving a surgery.
Okay, yeah, that's her. And this is important, but she didn't have breast implants.
Okay.
Or no, she did have breast implants. She did have breast implants.
Yes.
Yeah, she did have breast implants.
It was her friend that did not.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
This is her right here. This is Jennifer Laude. This is her photos. Honestly, you can't tell. I mean,
no, I would.
You can't tell.
No.
You can't tell that she is a he. There is a movement going on, and I never heard of it, but it's called the trans panic defense. All right, so I'm just going to throw that out there and let you think about it.
Okay.
The basic question I want you to think about, this is the big question. Does a transgendered person have to disclose their, quote, genital status if they're about to engage in sexual activities with a person? So that's called the trans panic defense, which we want to talk about. But let's first talk about what actually happened in the room. 30 minutes after Barbie and Jennifer and Joseph got into this room, 30 minutes later, Joseph walks out, just kind of, you know, walks out coyly. Is that a word?
Yeah. Like coy is like.
Coyly, yes.
Joseph walks out nonchalantly. He actually leaves the door ajar. Now, the housekeeper is pretty excited about it because now she can just clean up the room. These are rooms for the night. Yeah, these are like sex rooms, basically. You rent it for an hour or whatever. And then they clean it up real quick, which I really doubt they're doing much of anything, getting some stains out the wall. But then they just sell the room. So this is the room right here. The room actually doesn't even have a bath. It has one toilet and then this. This is all you're getting. This room, which is just a bed, sheets, not even a cover, and some literally jerk off towels on the freaking banister. A shitty little fake candle with a have a nice day. Have a nice day. Please don't come everywhere. Or please come again. Have a nice day. Please come again.
There you go. I wonder if that's what it says.
Okay, so this is the room you're getting. So 30 minutes after they rent this room, he walks out, leaves the door open. The housekeeper goes in there to clean it to get the next person in there, whoever wants to rent a room.
It is interesting that he didn't bother closing the door. Like he left it open for like didn't matter that it was.
Well, maybe he left it open. Maybe he left it open so that he could say that someone else went in there after him.
Interesting.
That's really smart. Yeah. So obviously she's dead. If you're making that conclusion, that's
I mean, we did see a photo with like prayer hands and clouds, so I just assumed.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So the thing is, that's a really good point.
I mean,
I'm not putting 2 and 2 together.
Context clues, people.
I think you're putting 2 and 4 together or something. Getting
2 and 2 equals 4.
All right,
it does.
Jen, that's a really good point. If he did leave the door ajar after killing her,
he could say he thought he closed it, but maybe someone went in there after him.
Although the room was right behind
the reception desk.
Exactly. All right. So
people are going to see if somebody else went in or out.
Exactly.
Unless there wasn't anyone at the reception desk. Because who would sneak into a room if they're going to get caught?
True.
All right. So right after he leaves, I mean, he walks out, shuts the door. I mean, she sees him walking out, number one. If you want to read this is from the Times Leader.
From the Times Leader on October 20th, 2014, quote, a housekeeper entered the room to find Laude's body partly wrapped in a bedsheet in the bathroom. She had apparently been drowned in the toilet, according to Police Chief Inspector Gil Domingo.
All right, so here, Jen, this is the death photo. Now, this is graphic, so if you're watching this live on live chat on YouTube, just know that this is a dead body. But this is what the housekeeper found, and this is the photo she took on her phone. So this is her. Oof. The bottom photo is
that their head in the toilet seat?
Yeah.
I know. It's really weird, isn't it? It looks weird.
Snapped.
Yeah.
I'll put this on talkmore.com, but apparently the neck is not snapped, but the photo is really odd looking. It looks like her neck is elongated, but you see her hair, like this black stuff, that's her hair. You see the hair coming out of the bowl?
Unless that's her face right there and the hair is just on the side and you can't see the ear, it's pixelated. Like, is her head face down or is her head to
that's the back of her neck.
You can't, or is it the side of her face, but you can't see the ear?
Is there? So this is her shoulder here.
Yeah. So maybe her head's like this.
Could be.
You can't really tell.
Yeah. Okay. I see. So this is her face, but it's too pixelated to tell.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is her ear.
Yeah.
I can kind of see the ear.
Oh yeah.
You can see the sideburn. You can't see the ear, but you can see the sideburn.
But wouldn't it still be kind of awkward?
It's still awkward.
Yeah.
But it's not like her neck is 3 feet long.
You know what? So I think this part right here is her other arm and shoulder. And I think
maybe.
I think this is where the neck kind of cuts off.
Maybe.
Because it looks like she's kind of humpback. And the photo is really grainy.
Her neck looks very, very bent.
The photo is really grainy. This is she is wrapped in a bed sheet.
Yeah.
Regardless,
she's wrapped in a bed sheet and her head's in the toilet.
Her head is in the toilet. Now there is no bathtub or shower. It's only this toilet and it's got very low amount of water in it.
But it is possible to drown in a very small amount of water.
Yeah, you don't even need to be in water to drown.
Yes.
And then if you want to describe her face, this is what her face looks
bruised. Is that her tongue?
We don't know what that is.
I don't know if that, like, I'm assuming that that's at an autopsy table or something. So I don't know if that's something in her mouth as like a mouth guard.
I think that's her tongue.
Or yeah.
That's her tongue and her lip is above the tongue.
But it seems like her tongue is real purple.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she's dead.
Yeah.
But did she like choke on her tongue or something while she was
swollen?
drowning?
I mean,
all right.
Anyway, she got a bloody nose as well.
Yeah. So if we look at the actual autopsy report, this is what we see right here. This is the actual autopsy report. I'll put this on talkmore.com, but this is what we see. So reading, number one, I want you to keep this in mind. It says cadaver of Jeffrey Laude, and it says a fully developed, nourished male cadaver. That's going to be important for later. But the conclusion here is that the cause of death is due to asphyxia by drowning. So she died from this autopsy report. She died because she was drowned in a small amount of water in the toilet. That's her cause of death. All right. So what do you think so far? So obviously this is a U.S. Marine.
Right.
And this U.S. Marine has killed someone in the Philippines, which we're allies with, but I say allies, but those relations are pretty shaky because this isn't the first Marine that has done something like this.
Oh, so this has really challenged our relationship with the Philippines, this case?
Yeah, this and other cases. The Philippines being a people who is not afraid, they need our help, but they're not afraid to to protest, get out on the street and try to, get the government to actually do something by like telling the US.
Natasha said something really interesting. The way toilets are designed, you can't drown in a toilet by yourself. If someone is found drowned in a toilet, it's always murder.
Oh, really?
I wonder if that's universal. Maybe with modern toilets, because I feel like toilets used to use a lot more water.
Does anyone want to take a guess at how many liters a toilet uses per flush?
How much? I don't know.
3.8. Huh?
How many liters are in a
20 liters, Jen? Jesus Christ, you trying to just destroy the planet? That would be 4 gallons of flush, Jen. Yeah, 4 liters to a gallon, Jen.
So it uses almost a gallon of water. I don't know those measurements off the top of my head.
3.8 liters per flush.
So it's almost a gallon of water.
Well, when so guys know because like we pee on the urinal, so there's like always that little sticker that says this uses 3.8 liters per flush.
Oh, interesting.
And then you read it while you're pee-peeing,
Try to aim.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Jen's flushing the toilet with like 7 gallons. So let's talk about the confrontation. This is what happened inside the hotel. Now, we're going to present this story like Joseph Pemberton, the Marine, said it was, because honestly, at the end of the day, we have to take his word for it because he's the only one that made it out alive, I guess. You know what I'm saying? She can't really explain what happened to her.
I wonder if any of my friends know him.
It's possible.
Maybe.
He's from New Bedford, Massachusetts, not Iowa, because there's 2 New Bedfords.
New Bedford, Massachusetts. All right. Upon discovering her penis, Jennifer Laude's penis, so Joseph was getting oral sex. He already had oral sex from a transgendered woman.
Did he know?
No, he did not know.
Okay.
So he's already had it with 2 transgendered women.
He's received oral sex from 2, yes.
Exactly. Now he's laying on the bed and getting it again from Jennifer Laude, and then he finds that she has a penis. So in his mind, hey, there's a dude going down on me, and this isn't cool. So immediately he pushes her off the bed, which I think was more of a like, get off me type of thing.
Yeah.
And then, according to him, she gets up from the floor and starts running over and trying to slap him, hit him, punch him, all this other stuff. That's when he puts her in a chokehold. He is a boxer. So he puts her in a chokehold, like from behind, and quote, until she stopped moving. Then he leaves the room. That's what he first said. But she was found in a toilet. So he goes back and says, well, I choked her out. And then I took her to the bathroom, but found there was no shower or whatever. So I tried to splash some toilet water on her to make sure she was alive. I found out she was still breathing. So then I just left. All right. He gets back to the ship and they get in trouble. So he was out with a couple friends. He gets back to the ship. The friends were looking for him. They're all late. He gets back at 12:15, 12:20. Doesn't say anything about it. Gets chewed out. And then when he's going to bed, he pulls a friend to the side and says the following. This friend's name is Jaron Rose. He had to testify on this case. Pemberton says the following, quote, I think I killed a he/she. So he/she. He's talking in private to this friend. He says, quote, I think I killed a he/she. And then he says that he killed her, or he thinks he killed her when, quote, he saw that it, end quote, had a dick. So it, he got angry and choked, quote, it, end quote, from behind. So.
From The Guardian, August 2015, while in bed, Pemberton discovered that Laude was a transgender woman and pushed her away, causing her to fall off the bed. Laude allegedly slapped him hard and was about to hit him again, prompting Pemberton to punch Laude.
All right, so what do you think? He said he tried to revive her, saw that she was breathing, and left the room. Evidence, there were condoms in the bathroom. An expert witness, Derek Dorian, testified that the fingerprints did match his, so we know it's him. There was also lubricant in the room that matched what it was on his penile shaft. So they know it was him. No one else came in, type of thing. Let's talk about this guy, Joseph Pemberton, Marine. Just real quick, we'll go over kind of his background. This is obviously him being arrested. He is from New Bedford, Massachusetts. He was on shore leave, 19 years old. He was aboard the ship USS Peleliu. He is an anti-tank missileman, 2nd Bat, 9th Marines. So Jennifer Laude, let's talk about Jennifer Laude real quick, just going over her real quick. Her former name is Jeffrey. She's a bakla, which is considered a third gender. The Philippines don't consider transgendered people a thing. All right, you saw the autopsy report, male cadaver, yada, yada. They don't actually consider transgender people as a real thing. They consider what is called a bakla, which is BAKLA. BA stands for a babe, which means woman. La, which is the last part of the word, stands for man. And then the K in the middle, bakla, literally means a connection between. So, but this term is more from what I found out from actually listening to videos of baklas explaining their status. They're more considered to be like what we consider a tomboy to be over here. And that's because the Philippines do not want to consider a transgender person. You know, they will not.
It's like not very accepting type.
Is not accepting. So they'll consider her more as a gay man. So to them, Jennifer or Jeffrey was a gay man. That's how they consider her.
Would it be more a consideration as like a drag queen type thing? Like they have another identity as the female?
I'm talking about for
maybe
legalese purposes, like on their documentations.
So that's interesting.
They're not going to put, if you're transgendered over here, would you put female or?
Well, if you go through the whole process, you would identify as
yeah, that's not going to happen over there.
Or either female.
So that's not going to happen.
On the documentation over there, it's
male.
So you're given an assigned gender at birth. You got a penis, you're a man, and it's going to stay that way even if you change your name.
Got it.
See, there is a country, and I don't know if it's the Philippines. There's a country where being transgender, and it might be the Philippines, but it's part of the culture.
That's Taiwan.
I think there are a couple. Are you thinking of Samoa?
I'm not sure, but it's widely accepted.
That's Taiwan. We've done that story.
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe?
No, I think there's a couple of countries where it is.
All right, we're not going to go over much of her background because it would get too long, but she was engaged to a German man who came over, and I'm not going to get into all that. I'll do a write-up and put it on the website, but if you want to know all about the background. But this isn't the first time that Jennifer Laude has done this specifically.
Okay.
So that's why I told you to think of the trans panic. And the trans panic, I'm just going to read this. This is from one of this LGBTQ plus.
You could say the alphabet mafia.
Well, I think of it like, so it's easy to remember if you think like large BLT. So LGBLT.
No, there's no another second L. It's LGBTQIA plus.
Your thing to help you remember is not correct.
Just defer to me. LGBTQIA plus.
But I mean, I'm proud of you for trying to like come up with something to help you remember it, but that wasn't it.
Large BLT, supersize, please.
That's actually clever, but
this community, this is from a website from them, so this is very biased, obviously. But they say that the trans panic defense, and I want to say the Vice article that I put a lot of this from, the woman is, our man is transgendered as well, so that is a very biased article as well. But anyway, the trans panic defense strategy is a legal strategy that asks a jury to find that the victim's sexual orientation or gender identity expression is to blame for the defendant's violent reaction, including murder. So what it's trying to say is he got away with murder because he didn't know that she was a man, and then he was put in some kind of temporary insanity, and he didn't really have control of what he was doing. All right.
I think the difference is it wasn't disclosed. Like it
wasn't disclosed.
He knew in advance and was doing
Yeah.
something specifically, I think, hateful as a retaliation of that. It was a surprise he was not expecting and caused a reaction, I think, similar to like a crime of passion.
When a person uses the panic defense, they are claiming that a victim's sexual orientation or gender identity not only explains but excuses a loss of self-control. But what the trans panic defense actually is trying to make it a requirement for a transgendered person to have to disclose that information. So, hey, and I think the same thing is with AIDS. I brought this up last time. If I have AIDS, I can't just have sex with you and not tell you. Like, I think it's illegal to do that.
I think somebody did confirm it is. Yeah.
I'm basically giving you a fucking death sentence.
If you're not using protection, yeah. But I mean, like,
I think you have to disclose either way. You should be able to. Condoms break all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what the fuck? Like, you're gonna give someone AIDS? Like, I feel like you have to fucking disclose that. If not, you should be tried for fucking murder.
It is someone confirmed last time. I think Chris.
So
Well, I
should
think
should
it's
they
the
have
same
to?
way with any STD. Like you want to make sure that you disclose it if you come
Yeah, but it's not a requirement.
No, but I'm just saying it's common decency. If you have a sexually transmitted infection or disease or virus or whatever you want to call it, STIs they call them now. If you have something that you can pass on to someone, or even if you didn't know at the time, but you go to the doctor and it's like, oh shoot, I have chlamydia. You want to tell the person that you just, if number one, especially if it is your partner. Number two, even if they're not your partner, but you did have sexual relations with them, you want to be responsible and be like, hey, just so you know, like you might want to get checked because I came back with this, so that you don't pass it on to someone else. It's just kind of like common decency to do that. But I feel like there is another level of there's another level, another layer to the trans panic defense, because it's not like you're necessarily passing on an STI to someone.
No, it's not. The trans panic defense is nothing to do with it.
Let me finish. Because, all right, so let's say, all right, we're talking about disclosing whether or not you have an STI. That's one thing. That is not the same. Let me clarify. That is not the same as declaring you are a transgendered person. But I think that the extra layer comes from transgendered people are trying to, and I'm not transgendered, so I can't speak for the transgendered community. However, what I can kind of gauge is like, if you are a transgendered person, before you transition, you are not happy with your identity. You feel like you don't identify as your sex assigned at birth. So once you transition, some people choose to have gender confirming surgery. Some people choose not to. But you're living life as the identity that you identify with.
Right.
So if it's hard because if you don't have gender confirming surgery, but you still feel like if you still identify as a female, or if you still identify as someone who does not possess specific genitalia, then you may not feel like you need to disclose that. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, however, on the other side of that, if you are someone who,
all right,
no, I got it. Like, all right, let's say one thing. All right, if you have a type, for example, some people like people that have, blonde hair and dark eyes, or some people like tall people, and some people like short people, and some people like, so if you are not someone that, if you are someone that is hiring a sex worker, and you want to have penetrative sex, if you are looking to have vaginal sex, and the person that is offering you sex does not have a vagina, but poses as someone that does, that's false advertisement. But if the agreement was not for vaginal sex, and if it was for oral sex only, and then it moved along,
it's still false advertising. I don't want some dude sucking my wings. Like I would fucking be pissed.
Well, legally speaking, they're not a male, but legally speaking, they are. It's different in the Philippines. I'm just trying to be. Dude,
PC. You got a fucking dick. You're a male. You're not gonna suck my dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I would fucking flip.
But you were enticed enough,
because I thought it was a chick. I thought it was a girl. The same thing with him. He thought it was a girl. He would not get oral sex from two guys.
No, maybe he wouldn't.
He didn't
but he
know.
was attracted enough to the person.
He didn't know.
Right, I know.
No, but I'm just trying to look at it.
I know, it's complicated.
It's very complicated.
It's like, okay,
if you're attracted to the person who is offering oral sex to you, that's fine, and you agree only on oral sex, and they do that. That's
no.
But I think the difference is he would not have agreed to that had he known.
Right.
He was deceived.
Right.
All right. He was deceived. The gay panic's different. If some guy comes up to the bar and is like, dude, you're so cute, I'd be like, yo, I'm not like that, so whatever. But if a girl comes up and is like, hey, you're cute or whatever, and then I find out she has a wiener, dude, I'm gonna freaking flip. You know, I'm going to fucking flip.
And it's not,
especially if and then Jennifer apparently came at him, slapping and punching. Now that's a self-defense issue to me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
Well, yeah. If you were being attacked and you were defending yourself,
and you're hitting a man, you're not hitting a woman. You know, at the end of the day, it was born a man. You're fighting a man. Like, you're not like, oh, you don't hit a woman. It's not a woman. He's got a penis. This isn't the first time that she's kind of done this. So she doesn't want people to know that she's a man. She met a Korean businesswoman who traveled to Olongapo. He actually had a family of his own, wife, kids. He wanted to move from them and marry her and have kids, but she kept refusing his sexual advances every time he would come. She even pretended to, quote, slash her wrist, and she used fake blood to do that so that he wouldn't know that she was really a man.
From Vice, Laude, nervous that Pemberton might discover the girls were trans because Jelviro didn't have implants, quickly agreed to lower the rate and rushed her friend out of the room. Please be safe, my friend, Jelviro told Pemberton in stilted English as she left.
Well, my question is, I mean, if you're a sex worker and you agree on what's going to be done ahead of time, regardless of what your gender identity is, like, even if Jennifer was a naturally born woman and he wanted to have penetrative sex, but she did not want to, and he went to do that anyway, that would be a crime against him anyway, correct?
What?
Like, you're saying it I think that probably happens a lot as long as he pays for it.
He would not have choked her if it was a female.
Well, no, but
the reason he flipped out is because she had a penis.
I understand that, but I'm saying that if the contract was for oral sex only.
I think here's the thing. It's no contract. It was $25.
But
you know what I mean?
But they agreed on that before it happened. All right, this is.
But she agreed because she agreed specifically so he would not find out. You just read that,
right?
Right. Oh, right. Okay. But here's the thing. She agreed on that.
The fact that he reached between her legs is what you're saying,
right?
Like
so like even if they didn't agree on that, like if they agreed only on that one act, right? And even if she was a gender signed female at birth, he reached under and tried to, fool around with her there. Like that's a breach of that's not something that she agreed to. That's not consensual.
Yeah, but we don't know what they agreed to.
But I'm just saying. And then she fought back to defend herself.
He was leaving from what he's saying. He pushed her out the bed, which it's just like, get the fuck off me. She flies out the bed. Then she comes running at him, hitting him and stuff like that.
I think I know what you're saying is, I think in that situation, Jen, I think I never paid for sex, so I don't know.
No, I
but I think you probably
sex, so
hang on. If you want to do that, you're gonna need to pay a little bit more money or something. I don't think you would necessarily stop it. You would probably just be like, all right, that's gonna cost you extra.
I guess if you're trying to earn money, then yeah. But I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here,
Yeah.
So the LG community says that you shouldn't have to disclose your genital status. But honestly, it's just, unless you want to get beat up a lot, it just seems like the right thing to do.
Yeah, it's not going to end well. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Someone's going to be angry or upset or whatever.
Unless you know
in advance and you're cool with that.
Like I think that if you go into the line of sex work and the Korean, stop talking. I don't want to say anything I don't mean.
The Korean guy that she almost married, she didn't even tell him that. He to this day thought that Jennifer was a girl. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, at one point it's like, come on, that's just fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just like, so like this world, like we have. So use the trans community, for example, and I think it's just the world, but like, okay, people are becoming whatever gender they want. So everyone else just has to accept it and be okay with it. And if you say anything bad, then, oh my God, you just have to accept it, like how fucking crazy it is or whatever. They just expect you to be okay with it. And that's the thing. Like, oh, I just expect people to be okay with, if they find out I'm a guy. Well, what the fuck, dude? This is a 19-year-old Marine who has machismo going on and, is like, what the fuck? Like, are you asking for it? Like, fucking for real?
I understand.
What do you
you're saying.
expect? No, I
It's
get what you're
different.
saying.
It's different to accept like that someone can do it like what they want to do. It's not harming them. But when it's coming to like a personal sexual experience that you didn't expect to happen,
right?
That's
which
that
goes
does
back to what I was saying. Like if you if you have a personal preference and you pay for something that you think is your personal preference, but it is actually not
Something
your personal
else.
preference, then I mean, like there is kind of a little bit of the false advertisement there.
So what do you think he should get for it? The Filipinos were pretty fucking pissed off about it. And here's like one photo of them, the Filipino community burning like the American flag and stuff and calling for this guy to get the death penalty and all this stuff. Like, what do you think should happen to this guy?
Well, it's hard. It's kind of
But here's them like
I mean, similar to like a crime of passion case, like somebody still, you catch your wife in bed with somebody else and you kill them. Like someone still died, in that situation.
Yeah, it obviously wasn't like a first degree murder.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you bring in the defense part of it, like, but how far did he go?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hard to prove.
that's the thing. It's
Even
like
if
you can't prove it.
if he said that to someone, I think I killed someone. Like why? Like
Well, he said I killed a he/she.
or I killed a he she.
Is that's not the right term, right?
It is
No.
not.
Okay.
It is definitely not. 8 years ago, it was not as commonly accepted as it is now. But the correct term is a transgendered person. However, number one, he's probably responsible for this person's death.
Yes.
Was it intentional? We don't know in that moment. Especially if the person was coming at him and he was defending himself. But how far did he go to cause harm to that person? Is the question really? If he thought for a moment that, or if he knew for a moment that he killed someone, he should have reported it.
Yeah.
He should have reported it. You're accountable. You're accountable for that person's death. And
Well, it was so he got back to the ship late. He went to sleep. This was 30 minutes later. And then in the middle of the night, they got him. So
It was quick.
it was real quick. Yeah. They pulled him off the ship literally like at 2 a.m. that morning. So the only person he really talked to is his friend and, his.
well, he had time to tell an authority
I'm
or to
just
call
saying.
911.
I mean,
Jeez.
I think he still killed somebody, even if it was accidental. And so I think like
So there's a treaty that we have called the VFA, which stands for Visiting Forces Agreement. It basically, this is what it is. I'm just gonna say it. America's fucking huge and fucking powerful. So when we go to the Philippines, we make them agree to this thing called the VFA that says if something happens, like, I don't know, one of our Marines chokes out your transgendered sex worker, then you can't just take him and try him in your penal system. He belongs to us because he's in the military visiting forces, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's an agreement. So a lot of Filipinos are really pissed about it because they knew that America was going to use that. For instance, like when he's awaiting trial, instead of being in a Filipino prison where there's like no electricity and it's like 100 degrees and diseases and all kinds of shit, he was kept on base in an air-conditioned shipping container with guards posted type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's part of the VFA agreement. Like we can do that type of shit. And at the end of the day, we use it since America is so big and great. We can kind of bully some things. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the government doesn't want us not to be there. They don't want to piss us off too much. So if all the Filipinos are like, yeah, fuck this, burn the American flag or whatever, they don't want us to leave.
Yeah.
Well, what about this?
Because they're not going to get invaded by another country if we have our battleships on.
Here's a thought. Yes, you should. Well, it's kind of like a compromise, right? What if, and I'm not a lawmaker, so me saying this on this podcast is not going to do anything. However, it's a thought. What if, like, in that contract, for the remainder of the time that your tour is in that country, you're under their law. You're tried in that country, or even you're tried in that country. You get your sentence based on what the country you're in deems appropriate, even if it's served in America, because you.
But this is just for military.
I know.
So you're a part. So if you're in the military, you're not a part of America per se. You're a part of the American forces, the military forces.
Were you going to say say they should serve time within the country's prison.
Or just like they should be tried by the country, whether that be.
But you know that country's going to tear his ass alive, which is why we had
I would say you're going to get bias either way.
You're going to get extreme bias.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, exactly. But even from the American side, you're going to get the bias of doing whatever it takes to protect your asset, your soldier. So, but I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I think I don't think it's a bad law, but I do think it's like meant to protect
the soldier.
Yeah.
But
good or bad.
But
that's
yeah,
what
but
it is.
if you're out there, like, all right, let's say this was not a one and done. Okay. Let's say
he went on a killing spree or something.
Well, that happened in Afghanistan, actually really close to where I was in Kandahar. Some guy, I think it was from the 10th Mountain Division. At night, he went into a village with his, I guess his M4 and just started killing women and children in the village. So we used the VFA law. You don't want to get, I mean, the guy would have, being tried in Afghanistan, he would have got beheaded. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
I know, but that's, I mean, what would America think about that? Oh, you're going to let this soldier that's been protecting our country get beheaded by them old Arabs?
He goes to prison.
You know what I'm saying? So he spends, I don't know, I guess he's still in prison. I doubt it. But in Leavenworth.
I don't know. That's a war crime issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's in prison in Leavenworth.
Yeah.
You know.
Probably, that's
tough.
Forever.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I doubt
maybe when I'm sober.
I doubt he's even in prison anymore.
The only thing I can think of is podcast ideas.
Do you remember the guy?
It's not a conspiracy, but
do you remember? So you guys don't hear about all the military murders. There's a number one, what's going on that doesn't make the news. A special forces soldier in Fort Bragg murdered a Delta Force soldier.
What?
And because there was like cheating wives involved.
Oh boy.
None of the media touched it. None of them wanted to get into that.
Let's do that one.
Oh, I don't think
Fuck no, dude. I'm too fucking close to that shit. No, fuck that. Dude, fuck that.
That's the one thing John won't do.
You're talking about protection from the highest level of government when you're talking about.
Let's talk about it after we are not on the podcast then, because I am intrigued.
And another, that was going on. Another one, remember the Navy SEAL? He was a captain that beheaded the guy, beheaded this Taliban member, and did like an Instagram photo of his head.
Oh no,
like holding his head.
No, I don't remember that.
Well, he's acquitted. Trump acquitted him. I don't think he should have.
That sounds about right.
I don't think but shit like that you don't hear of.
No.
But I mean, that guy was a decorated soldier, you know? And I mean, over there, man, you see that shit all the time. They do that to us. Like, why can't we do that to them every once in a while?
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Exactly.
Anyway, so his sentence.
Yeah, so he got sentenced to initially 12 years in prison. So the prison would be served at the military base, American-run military base in the Philippines. So he's technically still in the Philippines. And it was basically him isolated. And it probably was pretty cush. I'm not going to lie. It
was a shipping container.
It was a shipping container. He probably had all the amenities, which, or whatever. He still got his pay, $2,300 a month, which equaled $160,000 when he got out.
$2,300 a month.
And he was actually fully pardoned by Rodrigo, the president, Duterte. And he served less than 6 years. So he's out. I don't know I doubt he's still in the military. Yeah.
If there was a way to prove that, like he had wounds or something like that would definitely make
they didn't check the wounds.
I know. Like if that was there, I would definitely be leaning more towards I think some prison time is appropriate.
Yeah, you need to. It's most likely.
But the Filipinos are pissed at this. They're pissed at us. But at the end of the day, what I want to say is, your president gave him a full pardon.
Yeah.
So don't be pissed at us. Even though, let's pull back the curtains a little bit. Why did he give us a pardon? Well, because he doesn't want to upset the big angry dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's just how it is. But
who pardoned him?
Duterte, the president of the Philippines.
Oh, the Filipino president. Sorry,
yeah.
Sorry.
But the reason why is because of this is a relations thing. This is why you don't hear these stories, because it's like it's not just some Idaho
politics.
Kids getting killed.
No, it's all political.
Yeah,
everything in life is political, and if you think otherwise, you're wrong.
This is why you don't hear these stories.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's all political.
It is. It is all political.
I don't know. I hope you guys like that. Oh, what about the Green Beret? Yeah, that guy. You know, there's a lot of Green Berets that get in trouble. Remember the guy, the mountain guy, what was that guy's name? He was a former Green Beret, and he was living in the mountains, and he got involved in kind of a white supremacy group. And then the government showed up and they fucking just opened fire and killed his wife. I mean, it was fucking terrible. Like, you know,
Jesus.
You don't remember that?
No.
It's a big case. It was, what was that? I can't remember.
I don't know.
But terrible. So I remember there was a Green Beret before I got to Fort Bragg that showed up to a PT formation and just started offing people, you know?
Damn.
What?
It's crazy, man. But
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, like, I don't know. So this guy,
I understand you are putting yourself in his shoes. I get that.
the guy from that shot up all the Kandahar families, man. All right, you spend 13 months over there. They're constantly fucking attacking you, right? Not the people. And if you're on a big base like he was, you don't really see the inner working. So like I was in a village. So the people I was with, they were so happy that we were there because they weren't trying to kill us. They loved us,
Right.
you know? But the Taliban, if you're on a big base and you're constantly getting mortared and shit like that, you just think the whole country's out to get you type of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Most of the guys over there, like the regular people, don't even know what the fuck America is. They never even seen a fucking map. They don't have Twitter. They don't have internet. Like there were some people that we actually went to this village that no one has ever been in since the Soviets, which was in the 70s. And they thought we were the fucking Soviets coming
They're like,
back.
you're back. Hey.
They were like, what the fuck? What about 9/11? They're like, what? What is that? Ben who? I don't know that guy. What happened?
Crazy.
Like they have no fucking clue. And that's the majority of them, you know, because Afghanistan is literally nothing but a big fucking desert and mountains, you know? So like the majority of the people are just fucking farmers. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They don't know what the world looks like. They've never seen a map. They just know that they grow this and they eat this. It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. That's the people I wanted to protect, you know, because the Taliban comes in there and they fucking rape their wives and shit like that. Oh, fuck that. Fucking pussies. I don't know. Sorry.
No, you are our American.
Anyway,
hero.
whatever. All right. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.